and welcome to episode 3 of our series. We got Mike, that's me, we got Meg.
Hello.
What we are doing, we're taking a look at Yuri on Ice. This is part of our Meg Makes Mike series. Allowing me, sharing the privilege of watching these excellent shows.
Just wait till you see what's down the pipe after we finish with Yuri.
I can hardly wait. I can't contain myself.
Oh, he's so enthusiastic right now. You should actually see him.
Speaking of not containing myself, this episode number 3 that we've watched, in case you guys are watching along.
Yeah, we encourage that. I mean, it's the episodes are short and it's a short series, and you get into it, you get involved. I mean, we've had people tell us that this got them into it, so I mean that's a good thing. We have one person that told us that, but I mean. That's all I need. You
got to start somewhere.
That's all I need, yeah.
It takes a village to build a mountain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so episode 3, titled I Am Eros and Eros is Me? ? It's the abundant use of punctuation is there.
Yeah.
Face Off, Hot Springs on Ice.
Yes. The abundant punctuation in the way that the episode titles, they are really reminiscent of Soul Eater. All of their titles are like
Is this really something that's going to happen?
Yeah, it always ends in a question, even if the punctuation doesn't show a question, or it really shouldn't be a question. It's quite odd. But yes, liberal use of punctuation in these titles here.
So many. I'm going to have to work on my actual notes because the titles keep getting longer and longer.
Yeah.
So I have to budget a little bit more space. Mention again about midway through the title of Joseph.
I looked it up. I know what it's supposed to be.
Here's what I heard. Mm-hmm. Joseph, you are insufferable.
It's not.
It's not?
No, Joseph is actually yourself.
Yourself is insufferable?
It's not. I don't know what the next part is, but the Joseph part is definitely yourself.
Well, time will tell on that one.
No, it's...
So Yuri is going to give it his all.
Yeah.
The Eros that he's got. We are starting. The episode is... basically starting with Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Victor is demoing the routines that the boys will be using to really face off.
Yeah.
This is for not only the privilege of having Victor as the coach, but kind of a matter of pride at this point.
Yes, very much so.
Seems like Yuri 2, or Yuri O, as he's now referred to on a regular basis, is, Victor has a plan. He's going to soften Yuri O out, and he's going to toughen up Yuri.
Yeah, it's basically they're opposites. They're like Yuri is a more emotional skater. He has a lot of heart and a lot of emotion going in. He's not that technically great, but he makes up for it in his overwhelming amount of performance.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Yuri O, well, technically amazing. Like, he is a prodigy. He doesn't have that maturity to know that he also needs to marry that with an emotional performance, like something that will actually, because with skating, the way it's scored, it's kind of half and half points with technicality and also how well you perform. So they're opposites in the way that they actually skate.
So you need to enrapture the audience. You got to have them wrapped around your little finger. I think we see a little bit of that here going on.
Yes.
Victor is the best.
Yes, he is.
He is so far my favorite character.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's just... He does whatever the fuck he wants, whenever he wants, to whoever he wants.
Yep.
He is the man.
Yep.
So Victor starts by demoing Yuri 2's routine.
Mm-hmm.
Victor does a little bit of the ice dancing. It's more of a mellow tune, not really... doesn't really suit Yuri O's personality that well, but that was set up in the last episode.
Yes, it was supposed to be, you're always supposed to shock and awe the audience and surprise them, and this would definitely be surprising for the audience to see.
It wouldn't be what they'd be expecting.
Yeah, to see Yuri O, the Russian punk. Like, that's something that everyone calls him, so they wouldn't expect him to do this emotionally charged, pure, innocent routine.
Mm-hmm. Something happened that tickled me to no end, and it was very, very quick, very subtle, but I wrote it down. When Victor finished the routine, all he said was, something like that.
Yeah.
With a ... at the
Yeah,
end.
he's just like, it'll be something like that.
Oh, whatever.
I feel like he hasn't quite finished choreographing both routines.
Oh, not even
so
close.
It's just like, here's the first bit.
Whatever.
And then I'll kind of fill in the blanks as we go along.
The timeline on this, from the last episode to this one, I don't recall how much space is taking place. Is it about a day or so?
Since they made the whole competition, it's been a week, because Victor says, in 1 week I will show you your performances. Yeah. Yeah. So he's basically just giving them a taste of what it's going to be like. He probably does have the whole thing choreographed, but he's like, it's going to be something like this. I don't have time to show both of you.
He's a mastermind, because Yuri seems very much like the type who doesn't really appreciate an ad-lib here and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up because that tickled me.
Yeah.
It just, they were both enraptured watching Victor.
And then he just stops.
And then he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, it'll be something
like that. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, it's Victor.
Moving on, Yuko was creepy.
Yeah.
She's creeping around.
Well, she does.
Skating at the ice palace.
She either owns it or she's the manager there, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Until she just pops up very suddenly.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, that was amazing.
Obviously a fanboy. Fangirl boy.
Fangirl boy. She's a fan.
She's a fan.
Yeah. Through
and through. No need for the prefixes.
Yeah.
Victor made Yuko spurt. Blood.
Yes. There's so much blood. Yeah, it's a trope, if you don't know, that in anime, when something like either like sexy or something like, oh my god, I'm in love with this person sort of thing happens, they just gush blood from their nose. Like, just so much blood. So she basically just spurts out a ton of blood.
All he has to do is look over and wink at her, and bam,
that's
she's
during
done.
That's during when he is showing Yuri's performance, which is the Eros,
the sexual love component.
The sexual love. So this is him being incredibly sexy on ice, and it just causes
Damn it! That would have been a way better name for this podcast. Incredibly sexy on ice.
So he just causes Yuko to just, oh my god, that was so sexy, my nose just exploded.
So Yuri's also watching. He's taking note. He's intent, because this is what he's got to learn, right?
I think, I don't know if you saw this part, but when it flashes back to Yuri after Victor's doing the routine, you see in the background, Yurio is like holding Yuko, who's basically passed out, gushing blood, and he's like, can someone help me?
No, I understand.
And Yuri's like not paying attention. He's just focused solely on Victor.
Focused on so Yuri's so enraptured with the sexual love, the Eros part of this, that he's genuinely concerned about becoming pregnant.
Yep,
it's so sexy, he's worried he might get pregnant.
Yeah, he actually says, this is like sex on ice. There's so much eros in this routine, it might impregnate me.
I watched it. I get it.
It was incredibly sexy.
Little spicy
up in here.
Little
spicy, yeah.
So Victor brings up Yuri's lack of confidence. He finishes off the routine. Sounds like a little bit of tough love for our boy, Yuri.
Well, and Yuri's like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I haven't really done anything sexual or been thought of as a sexual creature ever. So it's like, how can I even portray this on ice? Because again, most of Yuri's performance is performance based. Mm-hmm. So how is he going to be able to get up to that caliber where he was when he's never really had this sort of experience that he needs? So
he's got to fake it till he makes it.
Yes.
We'll get on that a little bit later. My next note says inappropriate coach touching.
Yes. Yeah.
Victor it seems like a good motivator.
He
uses all the tools at his disposal. It almost seems like he's manipulating Yuri at this point.
I think so. Like,
emotionally and a little bit physically as well.
Well,
he's trying to break him out of his shell.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah, what he says is, I watched your video. You're incredibly talented. You're incredibly, you are sexy. You have tons of emotion in your performance. Why can't you win? He's like, you have everything inside of you to win competitions, to make it work. And he's just like, I I need to know why so that I can help.
Well, even Yuri does some self-reflection in that moment. He says he lacks confidence, so he knows.
He knows.
He knows he sucks.
Yeah, well, he doesn't suck. He knows why he chokes. But then, like Victor caressing his lips and like holding his hand and very, very close. Very close.
Kind of putting the eros in him. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
Well, and I feel like that's also a thing. Exactly. Like Victor showing him, look, I am attracted to you. You are clueless, but...
Meg, that's inappropriate. He is a coach.
Yes,
he has a responsibility to teach and educate this young boy.
Young boy. He's 22.
Young man.
He's
young man.
Yeah.
So inappropriate coach touch.
Yeah, a little inappropriate.
There's obviously a little bit more behind the scenes, but
it doesn't look like Yuri minds.
In the coach skater dynamic, not exactly appropriate.
Yeah, not exactly.
I might be bringing this up with some sort of commission.
No, yeah, that's fair. I agree with
inquiry. Good news, everyone. The weird squid humping an urchin statue
came back
front and center, kind of off to the side on the screen.
Yeah,
it was prevalent. I'm good.
Yeah,
I don't need anything else.
Yeah, that's all you
Meg,
need out of this.
Take it away.
Well, and that's when they're putting up posters about the Yuri on ice, or the Yuri on ice, the hot springs
on ice.
Yeah, the competition, and they're gonna motivate Yuri.
Who's got the budget to make these posters? I assume it's something from the Ice Palace.
Yeah, because it's going to bring in lots of revenue to Hatsetsu and to the Ice Castle. So yeah,
just one of those leaps in logic, I guess you have to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, they got a full color, full page printer for poster boards. Why not?
Yeah,
for something, a small event to determine who's going to be the coach.
Hey, it's not a small event when they were broadcasting it over like the air horn. Airwaves.
The Samurai Pizza Cat PA system.
Yeah, the PA system.
It's good that they're recycling from other anime. It's good to see those components come back in. So Yuri's interpretation of Eros is a little bit weird, a little bit creepy at first.
Are you talking about the story that he tells? The femme fatale story? Or not the femme fatale, but the Playboy story?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he tells this story. He's like, he sees, this is the beauty of how Yuri performs, is he sees a story that his performance is trying to tell. And he knows what it's supposed to be like. Mm-hmm. And he's worried that he just can't do that because it's not him. So he tells a story about like being a playboy and like seducing all the women. And
because that's what his idea of Eros is.
Exactly. So he's he's like, I see the story, but he's like, it's not me. And he even says, everyone who watches me is going to wish Victor was the one skating this because he could portray that playboy attitude. What I did want to say is that story that he's telling when it's like in the kind of line drawings, that is such a beautiful animation.
Oh yeah, it was very
nice. That scene is so well animated.
It's a bit of a cutaway. It goes into Yuri's imagination while he's telling this story. And it tells very much of, as you outlined, a playboy seducing a woman, getting bored of her once he actually gets her.
Yeah, she kind of rebuffs him, but then finally gives in, and then once he gets her, he's just like, well, I'm on to the next one now. I'm on to the next challenge.
Could that also be Yuri's problems with self-confidence?
Ooh, yeah.
Is it a metaphor?
It might be a metaphor.
Is it a metaphor?
It could be a metaphor.
We'll see. So Bully Guy's back. He's
helping him train.
Helping Yuri train. Victor decides that our Yuri is going to take second stage. Yuri 2 needs a little bit more work.
Well, he's just like, Yuri needs to work on his fundamentals, and that's what Victor wants. And he's like, I'm not going to even start teaching you until you can get these jumps, until you work on your fundamentals. So Bully Guy is helping him train, helping him stretch. And at this point, Yuri's also, he shows his ambitious side in this scene, because he says he wants to be better than Victor. He wants to surpass Victor. Basically, he doesn't want to keep imitating him. He wants to evolve as his own as a skater. Victor's amazing, but he wants to basically prove himself to Victor, prove that he's not wasting his time with Yuri. And the only way he can do that is to surpass him. So we see a little bit of Yuri being ambitious.
He's building his confidence, but just like a childhood bully should. This guy brings him back down to earth, cuts the legs out from under him, questions Yuri, saying, "You're never going to be better than Victor."
No, he just said no offense, but like Victor's the greatest
Victor's
skater
Victor.
on earth. Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah,
Mr. Pork Cutlet.
No offense, but Victor is the greatest skater that we have right now, and unfortunately, you just need that confidence.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking about confidence, we flash back to Yuri 2, who's skating with the program of Agape.
Yes.
So more of the innocent love type thing. Victor cuts him down again. Too much confidence, man. Yeah. That's not what this is about.
Well, and
be a bitch like Yuri. Yeah. Come on.
That comes back to they're opposite. Like Yurio is so technically great, so confident, but this program needs that purity, needs that innocence, needs that raw emotion. And even though Yurio's technically perfect, that's all it is. No one feels anything when they watch Yurio skate. They're like, wow, he's amazing, but they don't like, oh my god, that was beautiful sort of thing. So that's why, and Yurio's getting a little frustrated because he's like, what am I doing wrong? And Victor's like, it's not the technique, man. You just gotta figure this out. You gotta figure out what agape means to you. Because if you don't get that, then it's just not gonna happen.
There's no point. You're not gonna
evolve as a skater. Yeah.
Evolve as a skater. Yeah. But obviously not as a Pokemon.
Yeah. You're going to stagnate.
So next we flash to the temple once again. Yes. We're going back there and it's a little post-practice.
Sticks.
Yeah. There's sticks. Getting hit with some sticks. Looks like toughening up the boys a little bit. Not sure 100% why. Yeah. There's some waterfall training coming in. Yeah. Shit's getting real, man.
Yeah.
I'm expecting blades to be crossing, maybe a showdown of that nature. Victor desperately wants to take pictures of the boys in the hot springs.
He doesn't want to take the pictures of the boys. He wants them to take a picture of him.
With him, yeah.
No, not with him. He just wants a picture of himself in the hot springs that he can post. They aren't allowed. Amazing. They aren't allowed.
No, it's generally frowned upon. Yeah. It's Yuri's family's hot spring.
Yeah, you're not allowed to take
palace.
Photos there. Yeah, that's creepy. Everyone's naked, so I mean...
A little inappropriate. So at this point, Yuri's having a revelation. We're out of the hot springs. We're back into practicing. Yeah.
Both Yurio and Victor are having pork cutlet bowls, and Yuri's
contemplating how he's going to bring the Eros in, and
he's having broccoli and bean sprouts.
So he's trying to think, what do I love? What do I love enough? What do I lust after?
That makes him lose his mind.
Lose control. Turns out to be pork cutlet bowls.
Yep, Eros is pork cutlet bowls.
So that's where we're going.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do this.
And Victor's like, cool, let's roll with that. I love how Victor's just like, yeah, that works.
Hey, man.
If it works for you, then it works for me. So we're doing it. He's going to start teaching him and coaching him and showing him the Eros of the pork cutlet.
Which everybody seems to instantly know and identify with. And then
they jump to... Victor actually coaching and showing Yuri the skate, the routine, and he's just like, my favorite part is just, think of the juiciness of the pork and the softness of the egg, and that's what's getting him.
Victor
all
motivates
fired
Yuri with soft pork,
juicy pork, soft egg,
juicy pork.
Yeah, so that's how Victor's reaching out to Yuri and saying, this is your Eros. This is how I'm going to motivate you to get this Eros into your routine.
So I'm thinking this is about midway during the week already, because next up flashes an amazing little training montage.
Yes, I have training montage here as well.
Pretty cool. We're flashing back and forth between them, the boys spending time with Victor and then training on their own. Not really a lot of significant stuff happening during these little flashes, just showing,
they're working hard.
They're working hard, man.
They're working hard.
Each of them is taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously as a man who wants to have sex with a pork cutlet bowl can.
Yes.
This is where we get back into...
this is where the waterfall comes in.
This is where the waterfall is. And I have a note right here. is Yuri the one who sucks now? Seems to be shifting back and forth. I'm not sure who I'm rooting for
in the
anymore.
montage, Yuri's getting it. He's getting the pork cutlet bowl.
Yuri's clicking.
He's clicking. Him and Victor are practicing, and it's going really well.
Yuri seems to be the one that's
frustrated. He's struggling, yeah. He's the one that's just like, tell me what you want. And Victor's like, I can't. It's an emotion. You just have to feel it.
You gotta use the heart, not the head.
Yuri's got it with his pork cutlet bowl.
Yuri's definitely tapping it.
But you are still, you got it technically, man, but you got to bring that emotion into it. Got to
bring the heart into it.
Yeah, it's kind of a shift where Yuri's actually the one that's getting it, and Yurio's getting, I think, more and more frustrated with the fact that he feels like he needs more from Victor, and Victor's like, because he's like, tell me what agape means to you, and Victor's like, why? What would that do? It doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean it.
Like, something agape to me is going to be something completely different to you. So why should I even bother?
Victor's using a very effective teaching method of not teaching at all.
Exactly. So then he's like, go to the waterfall.
So now the boys are under the waterfall.
Yeah, and Yuri's like, why am I here?
They are both wondering what the hell is going on. But there's a reason.
Yep.
This is like a very, like all the training montages that you've ever seen in a film, there's a point to it.
Yes.
This one comes to a pinnacle with them under a waterfall. We flash inside Yurio's head, where we start to get an understanding, a little bit more of his backstory. Yeah. But it's very short, even.
It's very short.
We get just a little snapshot. Seems like Yuri, not a big fan of his mom, or his mom wasn't very reliant. Mommy issues in there.
Yeah, we don't. All we know is that
we see him holding hands with his grandpa.
Yeah, all we see really is that his mom is absent, and his mom is absent, and his grandpa is the one who is, holding his hand, comes to his practices, and that makes, because before that, Yurio's like, I don't, like, who believes in unconditional love? That makes no sense to me, but then it sets his mind in motion being under the waterfall. Yeah,
he's trying to find that unconditional love in his life, and at this point, doesn't really come to a revelation.
He kind of does, because when Yuri says, hey, let's go home, he's like, wow, I've never seen Yurio look that way before. He looked vulnerable. Mm-hmm. It was like the first time he's actually seen Yurio look vulnerable.
So he might be getting in touch with those emotions.
He is.
Victor fucked off, left them under the waterfall.
Well, he went for ramen.
And went drinking.
Drinking and ramen.
Till the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
The more I hear about this Victor guy, the more I like him.
Yeah. And this brings us to a really interesting scene, because it's Yuri asking Yurio for help. Mm-hmm. So it shows that, you know what, Yuri just wants to get better. So he's not afraid. Like, this person is his rival and will be in the upcoming events of the World Championships. But he's like, dude, I need help with my quads. Can you help me? And Yurio does. Yeah. So, I mean,
berates him the whole time.
Well, yeah, but he helps him, and Yuri's not afraid to ask for help, and Yurio is not afraid to give that help, which I felt was kind of a nice little. They've kind of become friends through this whole ordeal. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
So right about this point is when there's a realization from Yurio, where he figures out agape.
Yeah.
So his grandpa is going to be his unconditional love.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna think of.
Then we get into Victor brought his costumes from all of his competitions, and we have another teeny tiny montage of the boys picking through the clothing.
Yeah, and
the stuff that they want to wear for the competition.
Yurio's calling it crap, and Yuri's just fangasming all over the place.
This is the one he wore in the Grand Champion.
Yeah, he's just like, oh my god, this is like the best day ever.
It's pretty cutesy.
Yeah, it is pretty cute.
Then bumper time. I think we see some sake or some booze
or
something like that.
Yep, a little bit of sake.
Yeah. I gotta say, of the 3 bumpers so far, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
After seeing a pork cutlet bowl, seeing some noodles.
Like the pierogi.
The pierogi,
Yeah.
Once again, they kind of remind us that there is a pretty significant age gap between the two performers here. Yuri's 23, but Yurio's only 15.
Yep.
That's a pretty significant gap for
pretty
these
big
two to
gap.
be competing
Yeah.
against each other.
Well, they're both in the senior division, right? So
Well, yeah.
Like, and
the bottom
Victor's-
rung and probably the middle ground.
Victor's like, what, 27? So
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is going to be Yurio's first foray. Foray?
Yeah. His first foray. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up.
Into the senior division. So
Right.
He was in juniors up until this point.
Out come the cameras. This is a televised event.
Yes.
Again. This place, skating is the hottest shit around.
It's bumping. There's TV cameras everywhere. The place is packed.
The stands are full to the brim. I imagine they're selling... Is there skating memorabilia?
I would assume so.
I would think.
Yeah, I would think they're making some coin on this.
Otsetsu is the place to be for skating.
Well, you have 3 of the top skaters in the world in one place, so that's pretty impressive. Also,
I'm pretty sure Victor gets a stipend from the tourism board.
Yes, he does have like tourism ambassador on his chest, and it's just like, come to Hatsetsu, the hot springs and pork cutlet bowls are amazing.
Which they appear to be.
Yeah, they do appear.
Skating 24/7. Yeah. Victor, too, doesn't seem to respect Yurio while he's performing.
What?
Doesn't really seem that engaged. So while Yurio is performing, Victor,
he's
hardly
watching.
He's watching.
Yeah.
It's not really the care and attention. I think in Victor's mind, this is already made up before it started.
Fair enough. I do want to go back just before either of the skaters started doing their routines. I noticed this for the first time, and I'm like, what? But every time Yuko is around, Yurio is full on blush. Like, he's side glancing and like blushing whenever she's around, and she again has the nosebleed.
The nosebleeding, yeah.
Yeah, so
which is usually traditionally associated with a boy. So I like to see the equal opportunity here.
But
for slight perversion.
Another one of my favorite lines is Yuko's like, "Oh, you're gonna be amazing," and Yurio's like, "You are gushing all sorts of fluids."
Yep, got that down. Yuko is gushing all kinds of fluids.
Yeah, so he's a little weirded out by this, but again, he's in full-on blush mode whenever she's around, so it's kind of cute.
Yeah, probably need to have a little talk with the husband on that one.
Yeah, but then he goes out and does his routine.
Mm-hmm. So Yuri 2 goes first.
Mm-hmm.
He's performing his set. The music's very, very reserved, just like it was before.
Yeah.
And kind of like Masonic and monk-like.
Yeah, a little
in
bit.
nature.
It's very, I would say that.
Yuri's intimidated at this point by Yuri O.
Yeah, because
proclaims that he's a beautiful, ever-evolving monster.
Yes.
And how will he ever defeat him?
Because he's like, wow, Yuri found his emotion, found his performance component that he was missing. So yeah, this is big and big deal, big news.
It's a big deal,
and gives him a hit to his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But while Yuri is skating, and I do want to say once again, I love how they animate the skating.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fluid. It just feels so beautiful. So much like fighting. The use of background and foreground as they do the skating, I think makes it even more like gives you that sense of motion and movement.
Right. They do a really good job of, I don't know what it's called in a cartoon, but actual staging of the scene. Like they bring important elements up front and then they start to fade them to the back, and then they'll start to bring in something else. And there was a lot of that shifting of focus going on that really showed the speed of the motion on screen. It was really neat. Really well done.
Beautifully animated,
Looked great.
Yeah, I love that. But in this part, as Yurio, we've seen Yuri freaking out, but we see now in Yurio's head, and we see just how much pressure he puts on himself. Like, he's skating this flawless performance, and he's berating himself. He's like, I can't think of emotion and technique at the same time. I'm losing this. His confidence kind of slips. He's like, I'm better than this. Why can't I get this? And I think it's the first time that he's actually had to like be like, I need to up my performance.
Yeah.
And he's having issues thinking of the two at the same time.
So the technical shit won't just cut it anymore with the big boys.
Exactly. So this is the first time we actually see, okay, maybe Yurio also has a little bit of confidence problems. He puts an amazing amount of pressure on himself, and he's feeling like he is not skating up to his standards.
Mm-hmm. But despite the self-doubt, Yuri too nails it.
Yeah, he does.
Gets all of his quad jumps. He kicks ass.
He does kick ass, and everyone's like, this is amazing. We're going to see some really great things from Yuri.
But he did a great job.
Yeah.
He incorporated the aspect that he needed to at the time.
He just felt like he could do better.
Mm-hmm.
And even Victor was like, that was the best performance I've ever seen from you.
Which, paired with Yuri 2's signature move, he brought it out. He brought out his finishing move at the end of his performance.
Oh, yeah, the sit spin?
The city spinny thing.
Yeah, his signature sit spin move.
They made a really big deal about his signature move.
Oh, my God.
It's his signature move!
Yeah.
I expected the entire ice to just shatter right then. Yuri 1, obviously seeing this, has a bit of a mental breakdown.
Yeah, he's looking down at his feet, and
he's
they go all
panic.
wobbly.
He's not doing great.
No,
but he's up next, so he better get his shit together. Victor comes over to give him that last little confidence boost, standing uncomfortably close to him, almost touching his face with his face, so gets Yuri back on track. Again, Victor, man, not here. This is a coaching time. But it seems to be what Yuri needs at this point.
It's true. It is true. He needs that, like, I'm being seen. Even if I don't think Yuri quite understands or notices that he's being seen as a sexual
He's being seen as a delicious pork cutlet bowl.
Well, and Victor even says that, yeah.
Victor loves some pork cutlet
bowl. And I even have here, Victor infuses his comments with innuendo. Yuri is clueless. It's not subtle.
It's not subtle. No. He's just like a brick to the face.
Yeah, he's like, I love pork cutlet bowls. And Yuri's like, cool. Anyway.
Well, and Yuri thought in his head previously, I'm going to be the best, most delicious pork cutlet bowl. And Victor's just like, I love me some pork cutlet bowl.
And he's just like,
okay.
Yeah, and Yuri's like, don't take your eyes off me.
Mm-hmm,
and Victor's like, I literally wasn't planning on it.
My. I think at this point, Yuri's taken the ice. Yes. His routine has started. And I think Victor whistles at him.
Yeah, he goes... And that's just like one of my favorite parts because he's just watching Victor.
Like,
he's watching Yuri. He's got this blush on his face, and just when because that opening scene, that's when Yuko started gushing all her fluids, right? In that opening movement that is so sexy, and Yuri just nails it. So Victor's like,
and we're like, damn, Yuri, where'd all this come from?
Yep,
we learn. That might not be yet.
No, that's next, yeah.
Yeah, very, very next. My next note actually, right before that, says, Yuri might not be the worst.
Yay!
So starting not to hate Yuri, which is pretty good. The announcer, it seems like this entire village, entire city, this entire world may be populated with people who just speak in innuendo.
Yes.
The announcer is all over the pork cutlet. It seems like that was like... That was communicated to everyone simultaneously.
Everyone was communicated with this. He's doing the arrows of the pork cutlet bowl. Mm-hmm. And so, even the announcer's like, I can't believe he's thinking about a pork cutlet bowl right now. Yeah, so everyone is seeing this change. This isn't the Yuri that they're used to. It's not the Yuri we know. Yeah, they're not used to this sexualized Yuri.
But then we learn why. Yuri previously had gone to Yuko. Minako.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No worries.
To teach him how to move like a lady. Because he can't wrap his mind around
being the
playboy, the ideal that he held in his head, so he's going to switch it up.
Yeah. He's going to be now a femme fatale who seduces the playboy.
Which is something that Yuri can project a lot.
Yeah.
More easily into, it seems, at this point.
He's just like... And when he asked Minako to teach him to move like a woman, she was like, I didn't really understand why. Like, it seemed really weird, but as she's watching him skate, she's like, holy shit.
I get
This, whew, damn, Yuri. This is new. This is different. So yeah, he figures that out in a hard way.
Yeah, and he proclaims, I'm better than any other woman out there.
Yeah. It's like he's going to show Victor that he's better than any woman out there.
Which leads us to Victor wants to eat Yuri's pork cutlet bowl.
Yeah, probably.
Not even trying to hide this stuff anymore.
No, like, honestly, it's not, but Yuri's just, like...
Clueless.
Totally
Absolutely clueless.
He's just like, yep, that's cool. And it's like, dude.
Seeing all this extreme sexualization, Yuri he leaves all of his hard jumps to the last part of his set.
Which everyone notices. They're like, why is he putting all of, like...
What's he doing?
It does up your difficulty rating in skating, but, like, usually people do some jumps in the beginning, some jumps at the end. He's putting most of his jumps in the end, which shows
is traditionally when he chokes.
Yeah, which shows you just, like, he's elite. Like, he is a great skater. He can push through these performances.
He's going on hard mode.
Yeah, he leveled up. Like, he is definitely someone that we need to be taking notice of now.
So we've got Yuri. He's a powerhouse now.
Mm-hmm.
But then he stumbles.
He does
stumble. One of his first jumps, his first quad.
Yeah, it's the quad that he and Yurio were working on.
Right.
He kept on
bopping. So he didn't nail it perfectly, but he didn't fall on his ass or anything.
He only touched down. And Minako, even, like, when he does his step sequence, like, step sequences and spins were always Yuri's bread and butter. Like, that's how he got to the level he was. But he always had issues with his jumps.
Mm-hmm. So. But he doesn't let that completely derail him.
No.
He's like, no, man. No. I got more.
Yeah.
I got more jumps.
I can do this.
I'm not going to let these get in my head.
Yeah.
So he doesn't fuck up completely, just a little.
Yeah,
He's like, no, this isn't over yet.
Yeah,
this isn't over yet. Yuri, too, is still watching at this point as well. And Yuri, too, is like...
enthralled. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. He's flabbergasted.
If he wasn't on his phone at this point buying a plane ticket, he should have been.
He should have been, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's just dumbfounded. He's like, just like how Yuri's like, this is a different Yuri-O that I saw in practice. Mm-hmm. I feel like Yuri-O is also saying, where the fuck did this come from?
So performance ends. Victor's ecstatic.
Yeah.
He's with Yuri. Instantly, we see Yuri-O leaves to go to go back to Yakov.
Yeah.
He's conceded to his fate.
Yeah,
he doesn't even seem like he says bye to anybody.
No, he doesn't say bye. He just picks up and fucks off. He basically sees off. Yeah, he basically sees Yuri's performance. He goes, he changes. Yuko's like, aren't you even gonna like wait till the results? And he's like, I know the results, man. So he already knows, and I feel like he has a little bit more respect for Yuri, and he's actually looking forward to skating against him again in the upcoming competition season.
He's been defeated, but not deterred.
Yeah, he's still Yuri-O. He still has confidence out the wazoo, which is generally where confidence comes out of.
Yeah, I think that's where you keep it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Yuri wins!
Yuri wins. He wins the Hot Springs on Ice championship.
The head-to-head.
Yeah, so that means Victor's going to stay and be Yuri's coach. Mm-hmm. And we even see him doing a little bit. He's on the podium with Yuri, and they're asking him questions, and he seems a little bit like dumbfounded. He can't quite articulate his words, and then Victor puts his arm around Yuri and gives him that little squeeze.
Nice.
Give him that little squeeze, and again, so much innuendo. Yuri's clueless. Mm-hmm. Doesn't even notice the little squeeze, I don't think. Just like, come on, man.
Yeah, like, it's interesting. I don't so many questions. Is Victor going to live with them now? Is this going to be like a Three's Company type thing? We don't know.
I just don't think that... Like, Victor's like, how much less subtle do you need me to be?
I don't know how less subtle he can be without...
Full-on jumping on him.
Yeah, without some... Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Without some censorship going on for the airing of these episodes. Yeah. So that's where we end with this one.
Yeah.
The episode closes. We've got our outro again. At this point, I think I like the outro a little bit better than the intro.
I love the outro. It's so much fun.
The intro is really good, and it sets up the...
The intro is good for the song.
Yeah. That song is good. Yeah. The animation actually around it is probably my least favorite part.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's very silhouette based and very
it's nice.
It doesn't put the focus on anything in particular. But the outro is really upbeat. It's got a really good. You get to see some snapshots of some characters. As I've come to understand, there's some I haven't even met yet.
Yeah.
So this is just the getting Yuri back on his feet stage of the show.
Yeah, these first 3 episodes.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
He thought his life was over. He was going to eat pork cutlet bowls for the rest of his life and probably run the hot springs. Now he's like, I'm back in it.
Yeah.
Victor, hold me from the brink.
Yeah, like these first 3 episodes are basically your setup. It's going to go so much quicker now. It's just going to be like, time jumps are going to be happening. We're going to be just going through quick. So the first 3 episodes are, like, the first 2 are definitely just mostly setup. This one is kind of introducing now into the skating, and now we're just going to go full bore.
Right into it.
Right
on ice.
So knowing that, like, we've watched the first 3 episodes, give me your thoughts on the first 3 episodes.
First 3 episodes, as I haven't made it hidden, a little slow, a little strange, not opposed to strange in any way, shape, or form. The overall theme of the show has been pretty good, but now I'm interested. I want to know where this is going. I want to see where this is going. I want to see these other characters.
Yeah.
I'm liking Yuri more than before, but I'm bored of him.
Yeah.
I want more. Yeah. I want more people. I want more interactions. Yeah. I want to see more challenges, because right now...
Yeah. Next episode, when we start going into... It's not really a spoiler. When we start going into the competition circuit, this is where we're going to be... Yeah. You're going to be tripping over new characters.
I'm looking forward to it. Bored of Yuri 1. Yuri 2's okay.
Victor's amazing.
Victor's the best. I assume he's going to be there the whole time. I like some of the side characters. I hope we don't lose those. And yeah, so far it's so good.
Episode 3 is it's the one that was like I'm
tantalizing
invested.
Me. I got a little taste of probably what it's going to be like for the rest of it. Mm-hmm. It brought us on board very, very slowly. So there's like a 3-episode ramp up. But overall, it's been pretty enjoyable. I'm looking forward to really getting into the thick of it and just 21 minutes of innuendos from now on.
Yeah, it doesn't become less subtle. Like it's and I feel like maybe Yuri kind of starts. Wait a minute.
Well, we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
One last point I have is I was watching the credits, because normally I really don't watch the credits. Like this is the first time I'm actually seeing, the little post-credits blurb. I usually skip those, so this is kind of...
Next time on Yuri on Ice.
These are new to me, but one of the things in the credits was they had a figure skating choreographer, which is really cool. So I'm not sure if they just had a figure skating choreographer who choreographed the sequences and then let them know how to animate them, or if there was actually real live skaters involved. I'm kind of more inclined that they were watching someone choreographed these routines, taught them to skaters, and then had the animators watch the skaters do these routines. Because I think that would make more sense than a description. Because especially when I'm choreographing and I'm trying to teach choreography, only the people that would really know what the movements are called and what they're supposed to look like would really get it. So I think animators would definitely have to watch. I didn't see any figure skaters in the credits, but that means that I might not have been paying attention. But I definitely saw that there was a figure skating choreographer, which leads me to believe that she or he taught them their routines. They did them in front of the animators, probably filmed them from a whole bunch of different angles, and that's why that the figure skating looks the way it does, because it actually looks like people performing it rather than someone was like, oh, this is what this move is supposed to look like, and them just animating it. So
that would make sense.
I'm gonna try next episode to see if there's actual figure skaters in the credits, because that would make the most.
You can take offline too.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me.
I know studios like Disney have used that before, where their animators will go and spend time with animals or different situations to try to get a feel for them. So why not?
Yeah.
Beautiful show, a lot of emotion. Pretty cool action so far in this one, and whoever thought I'd be referring to figure skating is pretty cool action.
There you go. You have
highly enjoyable. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Just saying one more thing about the outro. Wow, it loses all subtlety in the outro.
Yep. My last note on the page is Victor is DTF.
Yeah, like, it's all subtle and, well, kind of subtle through the show. And then in the outros, it's just like, Yuri's like, no one wants to see me naked on the ice. And Victor's like, I would.
I do. Yeah, man.
So yeah, that was just like, coming from someone who's like never seen the outros, I'm like, what the hell?
I like the outward bumper,
yeah,
but I don't really know if that's stuff that's in the next episode.
I feel like it's because kind of in the beginning of the first episode, it kind of felt like this was Yuri reflecting on life. Like, this is kind of like a diary sort of thing. Like, this is what I did, and we're kind of seeing it as we're looking back on it with Yuri. So I feel like the outros are like, you know, maybe Victor and Yuri are in an established relationship and they're remembering all these memories and they're just like, yeah,
well, we'll see.
Are less subtle about it than
we'll see where this goes next time.
Next time.
On You, Me, and Yuri Makes 3.